Hey everyone, my name is Thomas Q. Jones and welcome back to the Castar Couch, presented by Castar. Now Castar is an exclusive community for creatives as well as a mobile app to help you find talent, book gigs, and collaborate with established and aspiring artists in Hollywood. Now today I'm super excited to talk to one of Hollywood's biggest casting directors. Now she's cast for projects such as Fruitvale Station, Stomp the Yard, Jump in the Broom, as well as the hit TV series Being Mary Jane. And now she's transitioned into director and author. I'm happy to talk to Tracy Twinkie Byrd. Thank you so much for coming to talk to
Thank you for having me.
At the Castar Couch. Thank you so much. So good to talk to you. So you were a huge part of my acting career because you cast me as Cuddy Buddy. Yes, yeah. Cuddy Buddy and Being Mary Jane on BET. Shout out to BET and Robbie Reed, which really helped jumpstart my career, which I'm forever grateful for.
Absolutely, you're
yes,
welcome.
Thank you so much for
Awesome.
that. So let's get into who Twinkie Byrd is. Who is Twinkie Byrd? Give us a little bit about yourself.
Twinkie Byrd? Just a girl from BK.
BK.
Doing her thing. That's who I am.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yes, Brooklyn is always in the house.
Yes. So how did you end up getting into casting?
That's a very good question. I got into casting, well, my brother is a director, Jeff Byrd, and he was directing music videos back in the 90s, along with all of the other greats, Hype Williams and George Tillman. And I love film. I love television. I love storytelling. And I was trying to find a place where I fit. I didn't want to be in front of the camera. And I learned about casting because I was working at an ad agency, and the little babies at the ad agency that were coming in for the Pamper auditions, they would come and sit in my lap because my desk was in the hallway. And one day they asked me, they're like, can you bring the baby in? We need a baby wrangler. And I was like, what is a baby wrangler and how much do they make? And they were like, $75 an hour. I said, yep, I'll take that job.
That's your job.
What do you need? What do you need me to do? And behind that door in advertising in the commercial world, I found out what was happening in that room.
Got you.
And I saw what was happening and I was like, oh my God, I got to be a part of that.
Wow.
I got to do it. So that's when I started to seek out mentors for that particular job and career. And I fell in love with casting by casting music videos.
So how did you go from casting music videos to film and TV?
Okay, well, I can tell you this. From 2019 looking back, I was casting film and television in a short form because when we were making videos in the 90s, they were short films to music. When you look back at Biggie and Guru and India Davenport, when you look back at Mary J. Blige videos, they were narrative stories being told with this recording artist, like singing a song about, I can love you better than she can, and here's the situation. And we were already doing it. We didn't even realize our own genius.
You were already doing it.
We were already doing it. We just didn't know all of the particulars when it comes to the unions or whatever else. But we were already doing it. So when I moved here in 97, I was doing a music video for H-Town. We did like a few. And I kept going towards music videos. And one day I was working on a music video for Jagged Edge. And the director was Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Forrest Whitaker said to me as I'm casting this music video for him, he said, what are you doing in music video? I was like, sir, what do you mean? He said, you are gifted and talented. You need to move into film. And I was like, okay, if Forrest Whitaker says it.
Yeah, if Forrest Whitaker said it, then you might want to take it serious.
Yeah, so I did. I ran with it. I was like, well, what do I need to do? How do I need to move forward? So I looked for short films to give me kind of a shorthand into the world of feature film. So I went to AFI. I called them up, that BK girl. And they said, well, our office hours were from 9 to 1. And I showed up there and brought my resume and let them know I'm ready to cast some short films. And they let me do it. They called me. And I did. And all of those short films rolled up into one, turned into a feature. My first feature was with my brother. So I got some experience. And then my second feature was Stomp the Yard.
Wow, which is an incredible movie. Incredible movie.
Yeah.
So you went from short films to a blockbuster film like Stomp the Yard.
I did.
So how did you end up doing TV? Was it just a natural progression?
Oh my gosh, no, not a natural progression at all. It's so funny. So I did a short stint on casting Moesha as a casting assistant, and that's how I met then Mara Brock.
Okay.
And I had relationships. You have relationships all over town, and you keep your relationships. You nurture them. You see people out at functions and events, and you say hi, and you work in and through the work. I ended up working for Salim doing Jump in the Broom, and then Mara and Salim on Sparkle. Yes, and then she called me into her office and slipped me this script. And at that time, it was called Single Black Female. And said, I want you to read it. And my test is reading on the treadmill. Oh. Because if you can keep my attention.
While you're running.
Yes. Then it's interesting.
Got you.
And I started reading it and I fell off the treadmill and I called her and I said, oh my God, what is this? This is so dope. And from then on, we did Being Mary Jane. And I was told from so many people, and this is the beautiful thing about manifesting and not listening to people when they try to speak negatively into your life. Yeah. I had an executive at NBC tell me that I would never do a 1-hour drama without doing half hours first. Wow. And I said, I don't want to do half hours. I'm not interested in half hour. Like, this is my life.
Yeah, and your path.
This is my life. Yeah. Like, what? And he was like, no, it doesn't work that way. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And
well, clearly he was wrong.
Clearly. And I sent him an email saying, thank you so much for putting that obstacle in my way, because it just made me more determined.
Yeah, and helped push you over the top.
It really did.
Okay, so walk us through the process, right? Because casting is obviously a huge part of Hollywood, huge part of pretty much anything in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. So when you first get a job, right? Someone calls you and says, hey, Twinkie the Diamond Finder. In case you all didn't know, her nickname is the Diamond Finder. She's got a reputation for finding some really incredible fresh faces. So what is that process when you get the job? What is that whole process? Explain that to
Okay,
people.
Well, a lot of it is relationships, of course. Mm-hmm. So the relationships, then, they call me about the project and I read the script. They make an offer to my agent or my lawyer and, they handle the business, much like for an actor getting an offer. But then I go about breaking down the script as a casting director, the characters that they're most interested in, like that lead role, possibly. If it's a kid, that lead role is usually an unknown. Yeah. And then you want to surround that lead role with some veteran actors in order to, give it gravitas. Gotcha. and also to, you want leaders on set as well, to guide the cast. So in terms of Beats, which is on Netflix currently with Anthony Anderson, Emiatsi Cornaldi, and Uzu, I cast the kid. I had to find the kid to play August. I had to find him. And it was a process. It was on and off for a year. Wow. Finding the kid. And then I go about finding all of the other characters. Anthony was attached, which was great. Mm-hmm. It's finding the women that were involved, the other kids. That was important. And it's a process. Sometimes you go through a process of making offers. Other times you are going through a process, for me now, online casting. Oh, wow. Everything is online. Mm-hmm. Like everything. And the reason why it's great for all of us, it's great because you can see more people in a short period of time. Yes. I can see people from New York, Chicago, Atlanta, New Orleans, South region, like Texas and such, all the way up to San Francisco. I can see the whole country. I can put out the audition on Tuesday to get auditions back by Friday at 12 noon and be watching sessions all weekend. Got you. And limiting it down. And then you get to meet me at the callback. me, the producers, the director, they will fly people in if they're interested and really interested in you. If you bring something that is really needed, when we were working in Chicago, they wanted someone that was very Chicago. So this young man was very Chicago, and you can feel it, you can hear it.
Yeah.
And it's important to have that authenticity.
Yeah.
So, and I would not have found him or known him first if it wasn't for my friend who I love, Josie Thacker, but also too, because of online casting. She put him on tape for me.
Wow. Well, that's good to know, because there's a lot of talented people out here that might not be in Hollywood or be in the same location, but you have access to them.
Truly.
Now, your name is the Diamond Finder.
It is.
How refreshing is it to find fresh talent? Because obviously in Hollywood, there are certain political plays with projects, whether it's to get it greenlit or to bring credibility to it.
Right.
But, you're known for casting a lot of fresh faces. I mean, when you cast me for Being Mary Jane, no one knew at all.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great. But, that's what you're known for. So how refreshing is it to see the response from someone that you cast that's a fresh face?
Oh, it's great. It's an awesome feeling. The best thing for me is to see them on their next job and and they just building a career.
Yeah.
That's the best thank you ever, is don't just live off of that one gig that, that's supposed to be a stepping stone to the next gig. And so for me, it's just it makes me feel so good. It really does.
Yeah, I see you glowing.
It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling to help someone and to be a part of their journey in a positive way.
Well, and to see like you're a visionary, and it takes a lot of courage to do that, because when you have a lot of money behind a project, and people have no idea, being a casting director, you're literally the captain of the ship. So for you to take a chance on, fresh face,
it's tough.
There's no gray area. Either it's going to work or it's not.
I fight for it. I have to find ways to make some of the men think it's their idea. Because that's important too. Yeah. And I also, part of my job, I feel, and that's why I love online casting and then bringing them into the room, the actors and artists into the room, is to make the best commercial of them that's possible, so that everyone sees the vision.
Got you.
Not just me. Mm-hmm. The director needs to see the vision. The producers need to see the vision. The network or the studio need to see the vision. And then I have that story, that backstory of tape that I love to have sometimes, and just go back and, sometimes I'll hit a person with a picture from their tape or something, or I'll do a throwback Thursday and I'll be like, remember this session? And just, to let them know how far that they've come also too, and what their humble beginnings look like, and how much fun we had in the room creating together.
Well, that makes a lot of sense too, because it's memories, and that's the thing, as an actor, we're always constantly moving towards the next thing, like you said, trying to build a career. And a lot of times those moments are motivation, because this industry is super unpredictable. You never know most of the time where your next job is going to come, because of a million different reasons, and a lot of people get discouraged. But by you doing that, sending pictures and reminding people how great they are is motivation. So as actors, we definitely appreciate that. So you see a lot of talent all the time. And for the people in our caster community that want to know, a lot of the questions that we get in castings are, what should we do? What shouldn't we do? So what are your pet peeves in a casting? Listen close.
My pet peeves in a casting. I just got these sides.
Ooh.
What are you telling me that for? So you're telling me right now that, okay, I'm going to screw up. So my screw up is because I just got the sides?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that preface? That makes absolutely no sense. Just calm down. That's just silly.
Yeah, now you just wasted your time coming in here.
And they're in your hand. Seriously? Yeah. You can look at them. They're right there.
Yes.
So yes, I don't care for I just got these sides. I don't care for tardiness. That's not not a fan. And we all came through LA traffic, so I get it. So you don't have to do the whole, the traffic was so, yeah, I know. The traffic was so. Just, that's fine. Other things are usually like, don't be nervous. Like, we're rooting for you in the room. I want you to win and I want you to be great. So, and every audition is not an opportunity for a job. It's an opportunity to book the room and to get comfortable in that room and to meet that casting director and have a good time. Like, if you don't book that job, that's not the end of everything. Yeah. There's something else that happens. You have to understand that we're trying to find a space for you. Even if you keep coming in and coming in and coming in, we know how great you are. We're just trying to find a space for you. We're trying to figure it out, like where you fit. So keep coming in because there's a reason for that. And the other thing that I don't like, and that I had this happen to me, this happened when I was doing Being Mary Jane. I had some very negative Nancys in my waiting room. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah. Like, what? That negativity, it's not going to get you a job to sit in the waiting area and be negative about the other actors that are coming in or about the process in general. That's it. It's attitude. Who wants to be on set with that? Yeah, exactly. So we're paying attention whether you know it or not, and my assistants and interns are paying attention. If you treat them in a disrespectful way and then come in my room all smiles and giggles, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Son. For real? Yeah. What do you think this is? Yes. I got eyes everywhere. Yes. Why do you think those interns are out there? They're my eyes. Yes. As soon as you leave, I'm like, okay, so what was that person like outside? Oh, dismissive? Okay. Oh, didn't listen to you? Oh, okay. Well, humility in anything goes a long way, and that's what a lot of people don't really understand. I think, unfortunately, some people have this idea of what Hollywood is or what the entertainment industry is, and at the end of the day, the majority of people that make it, that are successful, are humble people, talented people, and they want to be around humble, talented people. Yes. Because it's all about the experience. Even in an audition, I've been on hundreds of auditions, and even though you're thinking I need to book this role, I've auditioned 4 or 5 times for different casting directors, and I didn't book a role. But that 5th time, I booked something, and they kept bringing me in. Yes, they keep bringing you in. So that's kind of a thing you have to, as an actor, have to kind of get through that whole, I screwed up, or I flubbed a line, or she doesn't like me, or he doesn't like me. Like high school. At the end of the day, if you weren't in there, if they didn't like you, wouldn't be in there. Exactly. So you have to keep that in mind. Exactly. Yeah. So the latest project that you've cast for is American Skin. Featuring Nate Parker, Theo Rossi, Omari Hardwick, another Being Mary Jane alum. Yes. So tell us about that project. Oh my goodness. Nate Parker, I call him Nathaniel. He called me. Well, I donate my time to the Nate Parker Foundation every year. Okay. And that is a summer internship work session, like camp for HBCU and PWI students of color to teach film and television and how to create a short film in a week. Got you. And I watched their video, and I was so deeply enthralled and excited about what he was doing. I donated my time. I said, if you get me there, and I'm in. Like, I will stay there all week and share what I've learned and learn what I can, whatever you need me to do. So our relationship started. Nate auditioned for me for Stomp the Yard. Oh, okay. It was between him and the guy who got it. So, the two of them. So we've known each other since then. Well, he won the room. Yeah, he won the room. Like you said. Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did, because I never forgot him, and we've stayed in touch ever since. And then he got in contact with me and said, I have this little project, and I want you to cast it. And I was like, great. How much time do we have? And he was like, 3 weeks. I said, 3 weeks to cast? Wait, okay, send me the script. And I read the script, and I was like, I have to cast this. I have to do it. But in 3 weeks, it was like 52 roles. Wow. Yeah. In 3 weeks. Yeah. So how did you pull that off? Well, I had help, Kelly Knox and my assistant. And the beautiful thing about Nathaniel is that he knows what he wants. So if you show him tape, or if I say, this is somebody that I like because, he's like, okay, book him. Wow. And it was not a problem. Yeah. Like people came in and auditioned, and he would, if anybody I flagged, he watched them first. And those people that I flagged, everybody's in the film.
That's great.
He knew exactly what he wanted, and he got to see it. And there were some people that were not available for our film, but for the most part, we got the cast the best cast, and the cast that we needed. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you want a particular cast, but you get the cast you need. Yeah. And it is just, it brings me to tears. Wow. It is that amazing. It's an amazing, amazing film. So it's Bo Knapp, Theo Rossi, Omari Hardwick, Mo McCrae, Milana Jamai, Sierra Capri from On My Block. Okay. And then I pull somebody out, Vanessa Bell Calloway. I pull somebody out old school that most people will not remember, but for me, he was the epitome of television cool. And he is playing Nate's uncle in the piece, and it's Michael Warren from Hill Street Blues. Okay,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nostalgia.
Yes.
He bring some nostalgia to the project.
Blues,
yeah, it was a great show. Yes.
So that's like a lot of the cast, and it's really, really good. It's a great piece, and we cast 52 roles in 3 weeks, and we went to Venice Film Festival and got an 8-minute standing ovation.
Yeah, I saw online the response. I just saw Nate hugging people, and Theo posted some stuff, and the response looked very intense. Mm-hmm.
It's a Fruitvale Station response.
No, I mean, it looked like you were already at the Oscars.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the visual looked like that I saw.
That's the response Fruitvale Station got at Cannes.
Wow,
it got a standing ovation as well. And Spike, from what I'm to understand from Nate, he said Spike asked him who cast it.
Oh.
He said, who cast it?
He said, who do you think cast it? The Diamond Finders. That's who cast it.
Diamond Finders. Yes. So it's an awesome piece, and it's going to shift the culture.
That's great.
And shift the atmosphere of what's going on in the world.
So when does it come out?
I'm waiting to learn about distribution. Okay. I'm sure there's a bunch more film festivals that it's going to hit first. Well, so let them fight over it.
We'll be on the lookout for American Skin.
Yes.
I can't wait to see it, and you guys shouldn't wait to see it either. Mm-hmm. So like most people that we interview here at Castar, you're not one-dimensional.
No.
So what made you want to get into directing? You directed your first short film last year.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and can you tell us the name, what it was about? Give us a little bit of background on it.
It's called The Counter 1960, and it's the story of 3 woke students, present day, who slip in the space-time continuum and find themselves seated at the lunch counter in 1960. And the question is, will they be served?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because young people, they keep thinking that, if I was back in those times, I would have never, if I was back in slave days, this would have never happened. And it gives them an opportunity to find out who they really are, who their ancestors were, and to pay homage to the strength and the courage that they had in order to change things for the better for us. And then the question then becomes, well, what are you going to do now?
Yes. Well, they say, you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
Yes. Sankofa.
And that's very important because, I think in today's culture, although things have moved forward, there's still a lot of information from the past that I think the newer generation of kids don't really value. And I think that plays a part in some of the, stigmas and stereotypes and things that we really have no idea about, that we need to be able to overcome.
Right.
Because obviously it was a lot harder for people before us than it is for us now.
So much more difficult.
Yeah. And it's what they call the counter, right?
The Counter 1960.
1960.
Yes.
It's online. It's available online.
Yeah, it's about to. I've got one more film festival.
Okay.
T-Neck.
Okay.
Happening in November. And then after that, I'm going to put it online for the world to see.
After that, The Counter 1960.
Yes.
You got to go check that out.
It will be available.
So, casting director, and now author of this book right here, channeling Becky. Right here. This book right here, channeling Becky. Now, this book started from a podcast, right?
It did.
That you had a couple years ago. I remember talking to you about.
Yes.
And now it's a book and it's available. So talk about your book, Miss Author.
Well, I'm a casting director in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
And I cast some beautiful men on television and in film. And my sister couldn't keep a man.
Oh.
And she was trying to figure it out. Like, what the heck? After the last breakup, I was like, okay, something is wrong, and it's not them, it's me. It's time to figure out what this is and fix it.
Gotcha.
So I went on a journey. I met a relationship therapist. I went to her big open forum, Dr. Pat Allen, and she had an open forum with women and men, and we talked about relationship, and she started to break things down. And she said, if your relationships end in 2 years or less, every single one, and I started counting my relationships, and I was like, wait.
She's talking to you.
Yeah. Every 2 years. That brother didn't even make it 6 months. Okay, what is wrong with me? And she said, you are a masculine energy, and you got to find your inner girl and your inner sexy. And that's when I went on a journey with her.
Wow.
And while I was on that journey with the therapist, I started blogging and podcasting and everything on Facebook and taking pictures and posting it and putting it up. And suddenly my friends and family members who were followers, they were like, oh, tell me more about this. And they started chiming in and stuff. And I posted it online on a blog spot. And for free, but no one would go to the blog spot in my age range. So they said, put it in a book and we'll buy the book. And I said, so something for free you want to pay me for?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to say that to me once.
Yes, I'll take that.
So I took all of the Facebook blogs and posts and combined it into a book. So it's in there in real time.
Wow.
And I did a foreword and I did a Q&A afterwards. And I self-published the book on Kindle Publishing.
Wow.
On June 1st. And it's a movement now.
Wow.
It is a literal movement. People are having channeling Becky brunches.
That's great.
All around the country.
That's great.
And they want to talk about how to find their femininity, how to be vulnerable, how to properly date.
Well, the thing is, you're being open about your relationships and your life, and you just never know who's going through the exact same situation, and you're motivating them and encouraging them to be able to move forward, because someone in your position usually doesn't open up. Right. And you have a lot of people that look up to you and a lot of people that respect you. So that's incredible that you've created that movement, because you never know who you're going to help.
They made me cry at my launch party. I mean, one of my friends, she came in to the launch party with my book, with all kinds of little flags in the book. I mean, she was ready. She had questions. And she was just like, I read this part, and how did you say this? And I did this. And I mean, it's touching lives. Women were crying. I was crying. I'm thankful to know, because, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't second guess myself, because I did.
Yeah.
Because, ego, initially I was like, wait, I'm Twinkie Byrd. Should I let everybody know that I suck at dating? And then I was like, yeah, let everybody know. Forget it. Like, I'm 50 now. Screw it. Like, what the heck? What's the worst thing that could happen?
Well, I mean, and that's your journey. Everyone has their own specific journey and their own specific path that's right for them.
True.
If those relationships didn't work out, it was for a reason.
Absolutely. And I'm still friends with most of them, so it's all good.
That's always good.
It is.
It's always good.
It really is.
So you had so much success in your career, doing everything. What's next?
What's next? Let's see. I'm producing now.
Okay.
So I just sold a project and I am packaging another project.
Wow.
So I have a great writing partner that I work with, a couple of them actually now. So I'm producing projects. I am part of Alliance of Women Directors. So now I shadow on television. I've shadowed in a few made-for-TV movies. I have other projects coming out that I've cast, the Kamaya Mobley story for Lifetime and the Clark Sisters. I'm working on the Wendy Williams project next. And I am doing it all. Whatever is in my path that aligns with my purpose, that is what I do.
Yeah.
So if it feels good and it feels right and it aligns, then I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm speaking to kids. I just spoke at USC yesterday. I am casting people's short films. I'm doing what feels good, and I'm traveling the world, and I'm happy.
That's great, and that's inspirational.
Thank you.
So, got a couple random questions.
Uh-oh, random. No questions are ever random.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, we'll be painless.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite movie of all time?
That is not painless. Favorite movie of all time.
One of them.
One of my favorite movies of all time. This is so challenging.
Just one.
One.
Favorite, okay, I'll narrow it down. Favorite love story of all time. Film.
Favorite love story. That doesn't narrow it down. Because everything is love.
Favorite comedy of all time.
That doesn't help me.
Do you plead the fifth?
I do. I love The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, boom. The Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Boom, we got you. That's a drama and a comedy.
Yeah.
Dramedy.
Okay.
So that's your favorite dramedy of all time.
All right.
Okay. What's the last show you binged? TV show?
The last TV show I binged.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Oh, I binged two of them at once.
Oh, okay. That's cool. You can name two of them.
Okay, Orange is the New Black and Working Moms.
Okay.
On Netflix, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Your Netflix.
I just binge
Netflix
like a
queen.
crazy person.
Yeah, we all do.
I love it. It's the best.
What's your favorite genre to cast for?
Sci-fi.
Ooh, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's unpredictable. It's so unpredictable. And, you know, the usual things, you know, you kind of get, I'm not going to say tired of, but in sci-fi, it's not just about pretty people.
Yeah.
It is really about performance.
Performance.
Yes.
Yeah,
so sci-fi is like dope for
makes
performance.
Sense.
You've got to make what seems unbelievable believable.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense being a diamond finder. So you're looking for performance-based talent.
I am.
Which is what you do.
Yes.
Okay. What's your funniest casting story?
My funniest casting story?
One of them? Plead the fifth.
Oh my God, these questions are so random. My funniest casting story. Do I have a funny casting story? I don't even know if I have. Do I have?
Do you have, well, obviously you have some, I just got these lines.
Okay. Yes, I got a lot of, I just got these lines. I also, I'll never forget this one. I had to have an actress audition like 3 or 4 times on camera because she kept wearing the wrong top.
Oh my God. And you kept telling her every time, don't wear that.
What are you wearing? First it was stripes, then it was polka dots, then it was I was like, solid color. Wear a solid color that makes your skin glow.
Yeah.
What is with these polka dots? It's like 3/4 of polka dots and 1 part her face. I'm like, we can't even look at that. It's a blur of dots. It's just That's
rule number 1. If you want an audition, no stripes, no patterns.
Yeah, just please stop it.
That's like a consensus casting director pet peeve.
It is. It is.
So if you're listening, please don't wear that.
That's the funny story.
Okay, favorite city.
Oh, that's easy.
BK.
Yes.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yes, Brooklyn is my favorite city.
Okay.
Of course.
Favorite food.
Favorite food. Indian food. I love Indian food. Yes.
Well,
So
in LA, they have a couple of really good Indian places.
Yes, they really do.
So you know,
I
right
just
place.
had Indian last night, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
Yes, yes.
Give me some garlic naan and some chicken masala.
You can already taste it.
Tiki masala, yes, it's so good. It's curry and the.
Okay, so finally, what is some advice that you would give to up-and-coming actors in Hollywood that are trying to break through from a casting director's perspective?
What is some of the advice I would give? Okay, create content. Read books. Go to museums. Travel the world. Grow yourself. I say this to everybody, grow yourself. Because there's nothing worse than coming into a room like, oh, funny story. I had an actor come in for Being Mary Jane and thought that it was a half-hour comedy and it was a 1-hour drama.
Oh, wow.
And he was a series regular on a TV show. So, funny story.
Yeah,
yikes. Yeah, it was a yikes. That was a yikes story. I grow yourself because the thing that I love the most is when people have a full breadth of experience. Like when they come in and they have been somewhere and they look at the words or the sides or the script or what have you, and they understand that it's not Greenwich, but it's Greenwich. Or that it's not Leicester Square, but Leicester Square. You know, that they've traveled, they've done some things, they've been some places. So they understand that if it's a script about New York, it's Houston, not Houston. Or if they're in LA, it's rodeo in certain areas or rodeo in certain areas. So the living fully helps you. It really helps you with life experience, being in the room and finding a commonality, a common ground with anyone, but also too with your work. So, and to just really inform your art. Like, what do you do to inform your art? Do you go to museums or go to music concerts, or how do you do that? So live fully, and to not be, what's that word? Desperate? That level of desperation to be seen and to be what they call somebody. You are already somebody. No, I'm so tired of hearing people say these things. These are my other pet peeves. Started from the bottom. There is no bottom. You just started. Just stop it. Because just stop. That's just where you began. You started from the beginning. Okay, that's that. And then saying that they come from nothing. When, I'm sorry, but you were fearfully and wonderfully made. You come from something and someone. And it's awesome and epic. You literally breathe air. So stop demeaning and making it small where you were and making this thing big. Because then if it is no more, are you small? Are you no longer big? Like, start at it, come at it from a place of knowing who you are. And a strong sense of self. And and I understand, in particularly for us, people of color, Black people in particularly, we were sold the wrong story. We were sold a lot of lies about ourselves, and so was the rest of the world sold a lot of lies about us and about themselves. But for us in particularly, we have a challenge with thinking that we are less than because of the stories we were told. And now we're waking up and learning that what they buried, is being excavated, and we're learning about ourselves. And it's important for us to have a strong sense of self. So for the young men and the young women, you are somebody.
Definitely. Already. That's great advice, and it's honest and it's true, and perception is everything. How you see yourself is how everyone else is going to see you. So thank you so much for coming and talk to us on the Castar Couch. It's an honor to talk to you. Like I said, you've been a huge part of my acting career, believing in me from the beginning, and I'm forever grateful. And congratulations on everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Directing, the book, casting. Cannot wait to see American Skin. You have to go get this book, channeling Becky. To
please,
support
on Amazon Kindle.
Amazon and Amazon Kindle. You heard it. Go get the book. support it. Cannot wait to see the film. And thank you so much for coming on the Castar Couch.
Thank you, Hank.
So thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Castar Couch. For more information on Castar, go to our website, castarapp.com. To find the hottest gigs in LA, download Castar. To find the hottest talent in LA, download Castar. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our page at the bottom. And we'll see you here next time on the Castar Couch.
Good.